That's not the issue. The issue is it seems as though he wants to kind of like exert power and dominance over people who don't really want it.
We all saw it posted yesterday all over our social media pages. Cassie filed a lawsuit in New York City against Diddy.
Yikes.
She's claiming she was stuck in a decade-long cycle of abuse.
Can you imagine growing up with a father who's not just a global icon, but allegedly a kingpin of secrets, power, and manipulation? Well, that's exactly what Justin and Christian Combs, Diddy's sons, have reportedly been dealing with. These two brothers, once seen as the golden boys of hip-hop royalty, are now caught up in a mess that's making even the most hardened gossip lovers clutch their pearls. What's got everyone shook is that these sons, who were once their daddy's little princes, have reportedly flipped on him to save their own skins. And the tea they're spilling? It's scalding, honey.
Federal agents took Sean Diddy Combs into custody. He's seen in this video entering the Park Hyatt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan with others when agents from Homeland Security Investigations approach and separate him. They place Combs under arrest and lead him out the front door in handcuffs.
Let's rewind a bit, shall we? Diddy, the man who once ruled the music industry with an iron fist, was known for throwing some of the wildest and most exclusive parties in the world. We're talking events that would make the Great Gatsby blush. But behind all that glitz and glam, there was apparently a much darker side that's only now coming to light. Now, here's where it gets really messed up. According to insiders, Diddy allegedly forced his sons, Justin and Christian, to participate in these crazy parties long before they were even old enough to vote. Can you imagine being a teenager and not just attending these wild bashes, but being forced to play spy? That's right, besties. Justin and Christian were allegedly tasked with recording everything that went down at these infamous parties. We're talking keeping track of who was there, who did what, and gathering footage that could be used as leverage if any of these high-profile guests ever stepped out of line. It's giving major Big Brother vibes, but make it Hollywood.
You know, I think in federal court and for these charges, they would say it's routine, but in the public realm, this is very significant just from who we associate Diddy being and everything we've seen him do over the decades. Like you said, this is quite the downfall to go from, I mean, we saw the mansions back in March that were raided by the feds. So to go from living in those mansions to being in a...
But wait, it gets even worse. These poor boys weren't just voyeurs at these events. Reports suggest that Diddy went a step further, allegedly pressuring them to actually participate in these wild nights as some sort of twisted family duty. I mean, can you imagine? Your dad forcing you to engage in who knows what just to keep his empire safe? It's enough to make you want to call Child Protective Services retroactively. Now you might be wondering, what would make two sons turn on their father, especially when that father is one of the most powerful men in entertainment? Well, honey, it seems like years of this kind of manipulation and control will do that to you.
Next, is he going to be in jail in this facility until the trial begins? Is there a chance he could, you know, get moved earlier than that?
As of this moment, as of this hour, as of today, yes. But of course, as I mentioned earlier, they're going to be appealing this thing next to the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals to overturn the judge's order here to try and get him actually released
For years, Justin and Christian played the part of loyal sons. They were living it up, dressed to the nines, and looking like the perfect family on Instagram. But behind the scenes, things were falling apart faster than a house of cards in a hurricane. Sources close to the family say that the brothers had been harboring resentment for years. While to the outside world they appeared to be living the dream, their reality was more like a nightmare. It's clear that Diddy's control over his sons was both financial and emotional. They might have had all the designer clothes and fancy cars money could buy, but at what cost?
This has to be a 100% culture shock. I can't imagine living a lifestyle of the incredibly rich and famous and then going into this very dark, impersonal, cold, austere facility.
The situation reportedly came to a head when the feds started sniffing around Diddy's empire. Suddenly, Justin and Christian were faced with a choice: go down with the ship or save themselves. And honey, they chose self-preservation. Their decision to cooperate with federal authorities is sending shockwaves through the industry. It's not just about saving their own skins, though. There's a deep emotional component to their decision as well. Being forced into this world by their father has undoubtedly taken a toll on them. Imagine the betrayal they must feel, not only being denied a normal childhood, but also being used as tools in their father's grand scheme. Now, let's talk about the backdrop against which all this drama is unfolding. Diddy has been one of the most influential figures in the music industry for decades. He's he's built a massive empire, from launching the careers of artists like Notorious B.I.G. to creating a multi-million-dollar lifestyle brand. But with all that power comes the ability to control narratives, and for years, Diddy was able to keep his private life under wraps.
Replete with very, very serious and salacious allegations, including allegations that Combs had cameras.
Rumors about his wild parties have been swirling for ages, but few dared to confront him directly. Until now, and who better to expose the truth than his own flesh and blood? The brothers' alleged cooperation with federal authorities has blown the lid off a scandal that's been bubbling beneath the surface for years. And their revelations? They're just the tip of the iceberg, besties. From what's been leaked so far, their testimonies don't just implicate their father, they reportedly paint a picture of an entire underground operation. We're not just talking about a few wild nights or questionable choices. This is about a calculated, systematic exploitation of those around him, with his sons right in the thick of it.
Well, if he really was filming everybody, I mean, he had a lot of people at those parties, right?
If anyone...
According to sources close to the investigation, Justin and Christian are providing crucial details about how Diddy orchestrated these nights. They've described how he would gather high-profile guests, we're talking celebrities, influencers, industry executives, and ensure that every move was documented. But these weren't just casual party videos for the scrapbook. Oh no, honey. This footage was allegedly kept for blackmail purposes. Can you imagine the pressure on Justin and Christian to stay silent? It must have been immense. But with federal charges looming, it seems they finally had enough. And in cooperating with the authorities, they're not just flipping on their father. They're setting the stage for a massive fall from grace that could rock the entire entertainment industry.
And Stacey, you say today's indictment reads like a mob indictment. What was most shocking to you of all these allegations?
Yeah, the fact, Jake, that the government in this indictment presented evidence alleging that Sean Combs was running a criminal enterprise.
Now let's talk about the broader implications of their cooperation. If Diddy's sons are truly spilling the tea, it's not just Diddy who's at risk. The entertainment world is filled with stories of powerful people using their influence to control others, but rarely do these stories make it to the public eye in such a dramatic way. If Justin and Christian's testimonies lead to more revelations, we could be looking at one of the biggest scandals in modern entertainment history. This isn't just about a fall from grace, it's about a man who may finally be facing the consequences of decades of ruthless behavior. But here's the real kicker. While their decision to cooperate with authorities might seem like a betrayal on the surface, you have to wonder whether this is also a form of self-liberation for Justin and Christian. After years of being under their father's control, this might be their only way to truly break free. By exposing the truth, they're not only protecting themselves legally, but perhaps emotionally as well. They're taking back their narrative, reclaiming their identities from the shadow of their father's manipulation.
Diddy is now being sued in addition to what we just talked about by Dawn Richards. You guys will remember her. She was a part of Making the Band.
Dirty Money.
Dirty Money, the Danny Kane era. So basically what she is alleging, she's alleging a lot.
As the story of Diddy's alleged criminal activities unravels, the spotlight turns even sharper on the chilling accusations involving not only his sons, but also other prominent figures who were reportedly drawn into the web of manipulation that surrounded his infamous lifestyle. One of the most explosive elements of the allegations against Diddy revolves around his notorious freak-off parties. These wild, extravagant gatherings weren't just an opportunity for A-listers to let loose. They allegedly served a much darker purpose.
It's just crazy. Just read.
According to sources and lawsuits, these events were meticulously orchestrated to gather incriminating footage of high-profile guests, footage that Diddy would allegedly use to blackmail them into silence or obedience. It's like something straight out of a Hollywood thriller, except it's real life.
I think industry talk, there's a lot of people who have worked for him. There's been stories around, which is, not necessarily unusual.
Cassie Ventura, a singer who was in a long-term relationship with Diddy, was one of the first to pull back the curtain on the grim reality behind these events. In her explosive lawsuit filed in November 2023, she accused Diddy of years of abuse and coercion, recounting how she was allegedly forced to participate in these performances while Diddy filmed them.
Tracking music mogul Sean Diddy Combs on watch at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center after 2 judges denied his request for bail. This as a grand jury is expected to hear new testimony from workers very soon.
But Cassie wasn't the only one to come forward. Other insiders have provided shocking accounts of what really went down at these events. Rodney Jones, a former producer who worked closely with Diddy, has claimed in his own lawsuit that the parties were deliberately set up to entrap unsuspecting guests. And the names that are being dragged into this mess? It's a who's who of Hollywood and beyond. We're talking about R. Kelly, who's already facing his own legal troubles. There are even whispers about cryptocurrency mogul Sam Bankman-Fried attending some of these events. The web of connections is mind-boggling.
Allegations that have become shockingly familiar against Diddy in recent months as he has faced lawsuit after lawsuit from women and men who have accused him of all manner of bad behavior.
One of the most shocking aspects of the case is the sheer scale of the alleged operation. Prosecutors have indicated that they have dozens of terabytes of digital evidence, including video footage and phone records that span nearly 2 decades. We're talking about a digital mountain that could bury not just Diddy, but several other high-profile individuals who were present at these events.
There is a criminal investigation underway, and that they believe that there would be evidence of crimes in one or both of these homes.
But what about Diddy's own family? While Justin and Christian have reportedly decided to cooperate with authorities, their alleged role in these events cannot be ignored. Sources close to the investigation have claimed that both brothers were integral to the way Diddy managed these gatherings, helping their father keep tabs on guests and even assisting in collecting footage of incriminating activities. It's been said that over time they became so entangled in their father's world that they saw no way out. Until now. As the walls close in on Diddy, their decision to cooperate may be less about justice and more about self-preservation.
New at 5, the legal troubles continue for Sean Diddy Combs tonight after a judge ordered the music mogul to pay $100 million to a Michigan man who says that he was assaulted by Combs in '97.
According to court documents, Derek Cardello Smith says Combs and then assaulted him during an after party at a Holiday Inn in Detroit. But Combs never responded to the lawsuit in court.
The entertainment industry is watching closely, knowing that this case could set a precedent for accountability at the highest levels. Diddy's empire, once thought to be untouchable, is now teetering on the edge. And with Justin and Christian reportedly providing key evidence to investigators, the question is no longer if the truth will come out, but how many lives it will impact when it does.
And a lot of the evidence, alleged evidence, that's been gathered in this case was from those 2 raids that were conducted on his personal homes in Miami and Los Angeles. And the indictment names the things seized that he allegedly made videos of these performances that have been named freak-offs.
As more details come to light, one can't help but wonder how much of this has yet to be revealed. How many more celebrities, business moguls, and power players were involved in these shadowy gatherings? The ripple effects of Diddy's alleged actions are only just beginning to be felt, and the full extent of his influence may not be known for some time. What is clear, however, is that Diddy's downfall has shaken the entertainment world to its core. As the investigation moves forward, more names may emerge, more secrets may be exposed, and more lives may be forever changed. It's a story that's far from over, and with each new twist, the depth of Diddy's alleged empire of manipulation becomes more apparent. So, besties, what do you think? How far does Diddy's alleged web of control truly reach? And who else might be dragged into the spotlight? Do you think his sons, Justin and Christian, are genuine whistleblowers? Or are they simply trying to save themselves from the consequences? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because this discussion is far from over. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more piping hot tea. This is Hot Gossip signing off. Stay fabulous, stay curious, and never stop sipping that tea. Bye.